Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Infinite Horizon. So we've had a lot of disruptions lately, and today we have a few extra ones. So, as you may have noticed, we are down one Drac. Drac
Boo.
is a very busy person, and whenever Drac decides that he needs a break, then you know that Drac must need it.
He needs like at least three.
Yeah, so Drac is resting today, but um so that everybody is aware, this episode of Infinite Horizon will actually be a short episode. We'll probably be going like just past when we would normally go to break. And then we're gonna call it there because various members of literally all of us have something that is making our lives more difficult today. So
We're having problems and issues today, folks.
Everybody get your COVID booster shot if possible. That's my issue.
So today's episode will be a shorter episode, but we will pick up next week with everybody back in working order and with a regular length episode. So we'll try not to drag on the opening stuff too long so we can get directly into that. Yes, exactly, John. Today we rest. So opening opening stuff. Right now I don't have the donation bar up on the screen right now, because it's currently the donation bar is also resting today. But we do have a new goal, and if you want to contribute to it, we will be, if we reach our goal, which I believe will also be $250. If we reach our goal this month in November, we will host a community Among Us night in the Discord, which will be all kinds of chaos and fun. I realize Among Us is not really in the zeitgeist anymore, but it's still a fun time, and it'll be chaos.
We'll bring it
So
back.
yeah, so that's what we've got going on this month for our community goals. As far as programming this week, it's just a regular week. We're gonna say TBD, but probably not on the Mass Effect streams coming back this week. But we will have Ramblemancy at the usual time with a special surprise guest. So yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah. So Among Us can still be Among Us. That's very
that's
true,
good.
John Numa. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
True.
So that's what's going on this week. All in all, a pretty light week in comparison to previous ones. So yeah, that's what I've got right now at the top of the stream. So anybody else have anything they want to shout out right now?
Power play, Sundays, Q times, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's a normal week for me. There's, as I keep saying, I've said it on like 10 streams because dates keep moving around, but there's stuff coming that I'm excited about that you can't know about yet, but just keep an eye on my socials, I guess. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Since Drac isn't here, I'm gonna announce that everybody should follow Remy on Twitter. And also go on Drac's Twitter and see what he's up to.
Very true.
Yeah, everybody go send Drac the word good rest in all caps. Just add him on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's important. Who's the surprise? Oh no, what has excellent.
Huh.
These are great
Ooh.
options.
Are there
Oh,
polls
man.
now? Whoa.
Love this.
These are great
Okay.
options. Props, honestly. These are great.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I read Baba Yaga as Baby Yoda
Baby
at first.
Yoda, I also did, yeah. Mhm.
Which also excellent guest. Not the chattiest, but you know.
Come on.
Remy, you got here just in time for the poll.
All right. Well, anyway,
This is our thing.
that was very distracting. Let's get to tonight's episode.
We were just like good to do that for like 10
Yeah,
minutes,
you
probably.
This is what kind of day today is. Anyway, let's get into tonight's episode, everybody. We'll see you in just a second.
Focus.
Welcome back, everybody. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Don't mind the still muted cast who is causing problems in the captions on purpose. Um, anyway, um, previously on Infinite Horizon, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I feel like I have to warn all of you, meaning the cast, that I did unmute you. So just so that you know. Anyway, previously on Infinite Horizon, the crew headed to a remote corner of the border worlds to meet with a syndicate known as the Usurpers, hoping to build alliances in their continuing struggle against the Corps. After talking it through with the rest of their allies, the crew elected to head to the surface alone, both to keep eyes on Wire following her outburst and to avoid tipping their hand to the Usurpers in their first meeting. Upon arrival, the crew found the mood of the settlement much lighter than they expected, though undeniably deep in the border worlds, the people here seemed happy and safe, if wary of outsiders. The crew met Miris, the seemingly fair if ruthless leader of the Usurpers, and offered to help with the rival Alzirus syndicate in exchange for information and manpower. Miris walked them through the town to illustrate the nature of the Usurpers by first explaining that she was one of the supers the crew rescued from Silverbreak's prison ship nearly a year ago. After the crew freed her, she returned home to the border worlds, liberated it from syndicate influence, and founded the Usurpers. Where the syndicates had existed apart from the population preying upon them, Miris made everyone under her control part of the syndicate, with each member contributing and benefiting equally. Miris agreed to help on the condition that the crew find and sever the ties between the Alzirus syndicate and the Regulators, who had been in their pocket. With the Regulators out of the picture, the Usurpers would be able to allocate resources away from the interfaction conflict and aid the crew in freeing Sulan. And that is where we left off. So, jumping back into tonight, I think we are going to pick up not exactly where we left off, which was where all of you were sharing a meal provided for you by Miris and the Usurpers in their sort of what passes as their governmental center that is much, much more like a fortress. But you managed to share a decent meal, so we're not going to pick up there. We're going to pick up a little while later. I'm gonna start by asking a question. In order to plan for the next leg of your journey, are you going back to Wire's ship, or are you going to try to hold that planning meeting remotely from Awakener, or from the shuttle that's down here on the surface?
Probably do it remotely. Is there a reason that anybody would want to go back up to the ship? Asking my crew.
No, I think doing it remotely makes sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, the real question is, do you have any more business currently on the planet, or are you going to be leaving directly from here? I think that's the real question, because, then I think that would influence how you have that particular meeting.
I don't know, did they have, is there any resources they can offer us for whatever we're about to go do? Well, we don't even have, a plan yet, so it doesn't really...
Yeah.
I would assume that would be the thing, then. If we plan and need resources from them, then we can just take them with us.
Mm-hmm.
And if we need to, talk to, anyone here more, after we kind of do some planning, that might be helpful, too, if we stay here.
True.
I think remote is fine, because then we can figure out what we need from them and then just take it with us when we leave.
Sounds
so we
good.
don't have to come back down.
Then in that case,
give Wire some space.
That too.
That too.
Yeah. So in that case, the shuttle that you came down on, the one that belongs to Scrapyard Squadron, it is equipped with some rudimentary conferencing sort of equipment. So basically you can in fact have essentially just sort of a holographic very Star Wars-esque holographic council,
real quick Zoom meeting on the shuttle.
Yeah. So we'll then that's where we'll pick up. We'll pick up with you all chatting there. having basically, I would say at this point, briefed the people back on the ship on what's going on. Which currently the people that you're meeting with would be not Zaya, because Zaya is busy with keeping an eye on Wire, but Becker and Jade currently, and you're actually also seeing the major of Scrapyard Squadron. He has apparently he's apparently on board the vessel as well, has kind of moved over in that direction. So, oops, sorry, hold on a second. As you kind of finish briefing the those present, Ada would also be part of this conversation as well. You finish up, and Becker is just sort of like stroking his beard, just sort of thinking. Says, "Well, I mean, I guess it's something. It's more than what we had before. What do you think about what do you think about your approach?"
The approach is tricky. Obviously, I'm worried about my face, them knowing me, compromising in some way.
You don't happen to have any contacts with the regulators that are still maybe friendly or supportive in some way?
I mean, yeah, probably have a couple. Haven't talked to them for a long time, for obvious reasons.
Maybe.
I don't think they know the full story about what happened to me, but
Well, we might be able to leverage those if necessary. I mean,
mm,
are we thinking the direct approach? Is that what we're? I mean, either way, there's no way you're going to be able to investigate this without getting on one of their ships. So,
in my experience in the past, I prefer direct. I'm not really good at sneaking around and infiltrating very well, unless we have to do that eventually, but at least try with direct approach first.
Is there a ship that would make a good target? I think figuring out our target specifically is going to be the best way to start.
so just sort of this would be information that like Mason would have and probably has shared, but essentially the way that the regulators operate is that they are, in spite of the fact that they are an incredibly well funded and organized faction, they are spread pretty thin because the border world is still enormous.
Mhm.
So they tend to be spread pretty thin, relying on the like quick strikes. And so basically each region of the border worlds has a has like one or two designated patrol ships. That sort of, it's kind of like their jurisdiction basically.
Mhm.
That they sort of patrol. And then all of those regions report to sort of a sector commander essentially, and then those sector commanders report to the high command. So it's chances are what you're looking for here is one of the regional ships, because this is still a relatively localized kind of thing. Um, so like uh, it might not have been in times prior, but the Alziris Syndicate has like in recent times sort of expanded out this way, and as far as you are aware, has basically relocated their operating center to this region. So
Mhm.
this is probably where you'll want to be looking. So in answer to
Mhm.
Peach's question, um, what you would know already at this point is that there are two. Actually, this is one of the rare regions that actually has three patrol ships assigned to it, um, and that is because the sector commander is also in this region.
could I do like a sweep to see what kind of personnel are on there and see if I recognize anyone?
Um,
Or is that not common?
I don't know that would be like
That's
yeah, that would be
hmm,
something that would be
hmm,
that would require some like getting into their secure databases, and like we're talking
Mhm.
high level clearance databases.
very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, so just because it's been 2 weeks since
Mhm.
we've played last, and my brain is mush. So above table, our thought was to get the regulators out of the picture, right? That was kind of that was the move we wanted to make.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we want to expose them as working with the syndicate so that they like that was one of our thoughts, right? We wanted to kind of like show that they were working with them and sever that bond.
Would that be detrimental to them for real, or would they be able to just cover that up?
It's hard to say. The real important thing is being able to sever whatever tie the syndicate has to the regulators.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
because basically the situation in this region right now with the usurpers is that like they are likely essentially uh in terms of balance of power in this region, if the usurpers were to just without the regulators in the picture, if the usurpers were to move against, or if the Alzirus syndicate were to move against the usurpers, it would be incredibly costly for them,
Mhm.
and they'd probably end up on the losing end of that one.
Yeah.
However, like, if the usurpers move against the Alzirus syndicate, then the regulators will swoop down. If the Alzirus move against the usurpers, then the regulators won't be able to interfere without showing their obvious
Mhm.
ties. So yeah.
So we want to either show the ties or break that alliance.
Mhm.
It's kind of what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Does this then become an espionage subterfuge type mission, or are we gonna go fight somebody? Because I don't think we can fight the regulators with just us.
Well, it's not all of them, right? Because we were kind of under the no, I mean, we don't know for sure, but we were thinking that this sect of the regulators were kind of operating without the clear, like without the knowledge of like the higher ups outside of this one area, right? Like wasn't that something that we had learned? Like we had thought that. Am I making that up? Is that
I
not
don't know if that
something?
was like explicitly stated, but it's a reasonable assumption because it's extremely unlikely that the Alzira syndicate has ties to the entire organization of the regulators.
Yeah.
That's extremely unlikely. They would have to have incredibly deep pockets, like which they do, but they do for a syndicate. But like as far as you know, they don't have the means to buy up the entirety of the regulators.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what the logistics of like a two-prong plan would be like, just like as like a little backup seed, if we can get like proof to send to like regulator like higher ups or whatever, like, hey, just your guys are fucking up and doing this shit, as like a background thing while we take a more direct action at the same time, just in case that doesn't go anywhere, or if that's a waste of time.
I'm gonna kind of like just gonna kind of turn to Mason um and say how likely would there be any real repercussions for regulators from higher ups if they were found guilty of this kind of conspiracy? I mean, law is kind of fractured at the moment already, and then with us being so far out here, would that even matter? Should we even bother with that exposing right away, or should we? I defer to you as the expert.
Let's see. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they would probably want to take a look at it at least. Am I right, Lucas?
Yeah, that would be
They'd want to take a look
pretty
at that.
serious because like the syndicates are like the main enemy of the regulators. That's why the
Yeah.
regulators exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because their job is to squish such things, and to have them to know that one of their commands or one of their fleets is in the pocket of one of them, they would be I would think they would not be too happy with that.
That would be a play in which we embarrass them to the point where they get a little bit more skittish in their alliances. But
I also do think if there is anyone I know that we can talk to on the ship, that could be used as some kind of leverage. I didn't make all enemies back on my regulator days.
If you could reach out to any contacts you have, I mean, I think we need a little bit more information on the regulators' movements before we can plan any kind of strike, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
what is the possibility of us being able to turn the regulators on the Alzirus through either a series of crafted lies or
I mean, I could just make some of them do it.
That's true.
I forget how dangerous you are.
Okay.
It just kind of gives like a just kind of like a shrug.
Like if we could convince them that something happened that didn't happen, or I don't know how that would work either. Because I feel like direct conflict is super not the way we want to go with this.
Mason, I think talking to any of those contacts would be a good first step for us right now. I mean, out of character, like, can we spend some, like, is XP spending gonna help with that kind of thing? Like a GM intrusion, like Mason has a contact in the.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's I would say that's
or a player intrusion or a XP spend.
I mean, I think you can spend not as an intrusion, but you can spend XP for like
benefits in game.
For benefits, yeah. I feel like I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure that'd be a 3 XP spend because that'd be a long-term benefit.
Long term.
Absolutely, I could spend that.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that
for a contact within the.
For a contact, like an old buddy.
Sure.
And I'd like their name to be Carter Lockley.
Actually, I do already have somebody.
You do? I was just being backup. I wasn't sure. I was like, I just came up with it right now.
Yeah, no, I do actually have one already. So during your time with the regulators, during your investigation into the Alzirus connection to the regulators, there was really only one person who had your back that whole time, and that was your CO. He was that would be one at the time Sergeant Harold Iselik. He was the only one who basically like had your back. He covered for you a lot with the brass. And when you were discharged, he was the last and only person that you spoke with before leaving. He came to see you off.
Iselik?
Yeah.
Harold. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And the rank again? Sorry.
Then it was sergeant. Now you don't know.
And now I don't know
because it's been like 8 years. So.
That's very fair. Okay.
But as far as you know, you haven't really stayed in contact with him, but as far as you know, he is still a member of the Regulators. He was one of the people who like believed in the mission of the Regulators more than basically anybody you know.
I mean, he was going, and Mason just kind of like stroking his beard. He was fully going for career Regulators. This was his whole thing. He made it his life. So if anyone is to be contacted, I think I would contact him.
Ada speaks up and says, actually, I already looked it up. Interesting. Sending you this right now. And they just sort of, you can see as they sort of swipe towards you. And you immediately get the data packet, which contains like, it's not like high level clearance files or anything like that, but it is like pieces of like data that seems to be gathered from like various sources, from everything from like local surveillance networks to like news clippings when in what few places actually have a press, and like out here, all kinds of stuff, and basically, and just broad range transmissions from the from regulator patrol ships and stuff like that. What you're finding is that of the 3 patrol ships in this region, Captain Iselik is actually the commanding officer of one of the patrol ships in the region.
Okay.
Well, if he truly believed in what the regulators are supposed to be doing, he probably doesn't like the Alzirus ties. Might be in his, favor to break that.
Becker nods. He says, I mean, it also tracks with the Alzirus moving out this way. I could see somebody like who you described putting in a request to transfer to deal with it, being somebody familiar with it. Might be our best. That might be the best way in that we could possibly find. If you could reach out to your old regulator buddy, maybe that's our way in.
Yeah, I'll happily do that. But I'm going to learn as much about him as I can beforehand. It's been 8 years. It's been a hot minute. Mason doesn't say that. It's been a while. Damn.
All right. I'm not sure if there's actually. He you can see as he glances sideways towards Ada, and says, "I know of a just to have a backup plan. I know of a relay nearby, a communications relay nearby that the regulators use to send info back to send reports and the like back to base, back to their headquarters. It's locked up tight, but someplace like that would definitely have stored caches of data that got transmitted through it. You think you could crack it?" Ada shrugs, says, "Maybe, but says, I might need some help getting in." And she kind of like glances over towards Taeon. She says, "Do you think you could get me in there?" And Taeon looks around at all of you and just says, "Yeah, I think I could." And he says, "Unless you need me here." Besides, I could always catch up with you later.
Yeah, easy peasy.
You always do.
Right. Well, I guess I'll...
Be safe.
Yeah. You too. I'll head back. And Taeon just gone. Like, just gone. And then a moment later, you see as, like, a holographic Taeon appears next to Ada. Becker nods, says, "Okay, and that's the plan then. You work your old regulator buddy, while Ada Sprix and Taeon go dig up whatever they can on personnel out there. That should get you, hopefully, whatever you need to know about your friend. In the meantime, I'd say, you think you can trust the guy, Mason?"
Mason's kind of like leans back. Oh, I have to.
Okay.
I have to.
Then in that case, I would say, reach out to him, make it like a reconnecting kind of thing, and then tell him whatever you need to get the job done. But whatever you do, don't talk to anybody else. We don't know who might be part of this.
It sounds good to me.
Okay. You gonna be heading back this way, grabbing Awakener, or are you taking the shuttle? What? Sorry, Caitlin?
I just said, I'm thinking out loud. I mean, would Awakener probably be safer if we're flying around?
Yeah,
elsewhere other than a shuttle, probably.
I think so. I was about to say, I feel like if we run into any trouble, Awakener is a better shot.
Is
And
there
we can.
anything?
Oh, I was just gonna say, and we can always like bring her in quiet if we don't want her to be
Mhm.
seen everywhere. So
Is there anything that would be helpful that they might be able to provide for us while we're here? That anybody needs, wants? Like, do we need refuel? Like, do we like how are we doing on like that kind of thing?
Refuel, search for ciphers.
There's for ciphers.
I would like to search for
We're like, search for
ciphers.
ciphers.
Why not?
We're so good at this game, you guys. We're so
Although I can't even hold any more ciphers. I never used a damn cipher.
Honestly, I feel like the one person who has used their ciphers isn't here tonight.
Mhm.
I tried to use the friction reducing gel once, but I tried to use it incorrectly.
Yeah.
So it didn't work.
I give my ciphers to other people is what usually ends up happening. I don't know if I've ever personally used a cipher. I end
Sure,
up giving
sure.
them to people who can use them better.
The stasis pod hasn't come in handy yet. So
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you want to do?
um
I'm always team Awakener, but
I mean,
yeah,
I think
for
we
sure.
should take Awakener, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I'm just saying, are we going there next,
Oh.
or do we have any other business here? Like
That was kind of the thought.
oh,
Do we need
sorry.
weapons? Does anyone need like I don't know, anything, any help that they could give us while we're here is really kind of my thought. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but
how many we still have, how much resources do we have, like credit wise or like wealth wise right now?
You have a fair bit, but like not enough for like it's enough to like I would say it's enough to like maintain the upkeep of your ships for quite a while.
Mhm.
If you for like a like you probably have enough to maintain like full service upkeep on your ships for like at least a year. And that's including Scrapyard Squadron and the Derelict. Like that's including that. So like a lot is what I'm saying.
Okay. I was just wondering because I was like, since we're in the border worlds, we're on a place where there's, some sketchy stuff. We could always look into buying some more like cool weapons if we might need them later, or like things that we might not have that could come in handy.
Mhm.
Since I feel like we needed firepower pretty suddenly in recent times. So
Yeah.
True.
I think I would like send a message to the general of like any like tactical weapons you think would be necessary. Like I'm just gonna ask him like what he thinks if we should get stuff.
Like here's the plan. What's
So-
useful?
Yeah.
You don't really have like you have a way to contact the rest of the
That's
of
right.
the
He's not with
resistance,
us.
but like it's not
Oh,
like
I can't contact
you
him.
can, but it's not like an instantaneous kind of thing because
Yeah.
yeah.
We're split pretty harshly.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot he wasn't with us on our ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna send the message anyway, even if he receives
Sure,
it like
sure.
5 days later in response, and we're already off planet.
Yeah. Like the reality is that it gets routed in a very specific way.
But
And the fact that you like don't know his exact positioning means you don't know what relay to send it to, which is not something that you would normally have to do like or worry about. But for security reasons, that kind of stuff has been running through Wire, and Wire at the moment is
Out of commission.
cool.
Yeah.
I think Peach probably like types it out, sends it, and then kind of sits there for a second and is like watching it. It's like, oh shit, this probably isn't gonna go through for a while.
Yeah. So
It's the little Chrome extension dinosaur, but it's Ada Sprix being like, we're working on it for you. Like,
just a little like 8-bit Ada just like running.
yeah, exactly.
I love the idea that she like
Oh.
put that in all of our communicators.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like,
Mhm.
Yes, 100%.
And we're like, I'm assuming we're routing it through because Ada's the one who like calculated this like split route for us.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
pretty
I'm
much.
assuming that she and Wire were the ones who set it up, which means if she had a hand in it, she put her they put their little 8-bit in there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So did you want to try to go around seeing if you can scare up some ciphers?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Heck
Sounds good.
yeah.
In that case, well, we'll do it this way. Who Who has space for ciphers and how many?
Did I give my poison gas bomb to someone?
Yes.
Or did that got given back to me though?
I believe.
Did we?
No. I think is
It got used.
isn't that the
I
one?
did get used.
Isn't that the one that was used on the psychokinetic when you were?
Nice. I remember giving it to someone, but I can't remember if that plan
I
actually
think
came to
it's
fruition.
the one that got dropped. That took the psychokinetic out of commission, which
Right.
allowed
Awesome.
Mirage to catch up with you. So
So I have space for one cipher because I don't want to get rid of my diplomat mouthwash.
of course, no, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So
Oh,
we're
absolutely.
gonna do something we haven't done in a while, which is roll for ciphers.
I don't have my dice.
Blasphemous.
Whoa! What?
All right. Let's
I like
do
the
it.
idea that we're like wandering through there, like some junk stalls, just like different stuff. We're just like finding like weird shit.
I
I
mean,
feel like in this case, it's like we go and we're like, hey, do you have some stuff you could give us? And they give us a box full of shit that we can dig through. Like
yeah,
things that they can
fair.
spare.
the scariest lost and found in.
This- oh, that's so true. That is kind of what this is. Be like, we don't have any use for it. It's like, why don't you have use for this level 8 bomb?
It's basically, I think it's just like, here's stuff we can spare. Everything else we're using. So
Yeah.
just take it and fuck off.
So let's see. So how many rolls are we making here? Because we're making only as many rolls as we have slots. So 2 rolls, one for Caitlin, one for Freeman. Cool.
Yeah, I don't have any slots, so
Okay, sounds good. In that case, go ahead. I want each of you to give me a D6 roll real quick.
Ooh, okay.
It's a 1.
Okay.
2.
2. All right, great. You're rolling on the same chart. So go ahead and give me a D100.
roll the same number. Roll the same number.
Please, let's do it. That would be funny.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 94.
94.
Come on, Freeman.
Gotta read these right. That looks like a 73.
Nice. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. So we'll go with we'll start with Freeman's because that's the one that came first alphabetically. Go ahead and roll a d6 plus 1 for the level.
Okay. 4.
Okay, so this is that's plus 1.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's a level 4 cipher. This is hold on. Let me read this for a second. Oh, cool. Okay. So, this is this is a modular energy dampener. So essentially it is the effect. The cipher is called effect resistance, which provides a chance for additional resistance to directly damaging effects of all kinds, such as fire, lightning, and the like, for a day. So yeah, it's yeah. So that Freeman is on page 350.
Does that stack with Mason's normal adaptation? That'd
I'm
be
not
insane.
sure. You'll have to read it and find
Yeah.
out. But yeah, and it's a level 4. But essentially, what it is, technologically speaking, is it is a modular energy shielding unit that can be like
Ooh.
attached to like a utility belt or something like that. That
That's
basically
cool.
like you can cycle it through resistance types essentially.
Oh, that means Bina could make you resistant to like one kind of damage, and then you could use that and be resistant to another kind of
Very true.
damage.
You could do
Love
that.
it.
And then you could
Love
just
it.
be a tank.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now, Bina.
Mhm.
All right, let me just make sure because there's 2 very similar items that I need to make sure it's this one. Okay, cool. So go ahead and give me a D6 plus 3.
Oh. Wow, that's 9.
Oh my god! It's a level 9 force screen projector.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it creates an immobile plane of solid force up to 20 feet by 20 feet for 1 hour. Conforms to the space available. So yeah.
Oh.
So it is a level 9 force screen projector That is intense.
Whoa.
Love
Yeah. Hell of a roll.
my notes. Nice. I rolled a 1 and then a 6. We're doing great,
Yeah.
folks.
Oh, incredible. All right. So yeah, I feel like some of this stuff is just like stuff that was just kind of that they had laying around that they're like, yeah, I don't know. We don't really know what's in there. We haven't gone through it. You look around, I guess. I don't know. And then like this is definitely like a Bina scavenging sort of through stuff and just sort of like finding one thing, be like, is this what I think it is? And like brushing it off and like
Tossing the thing in the other 3
Yeah.
hands, like, ooh.
yeah. Excellent. Cool.
Sweet.
So, anything else that y'all want to do planet side or?
Are we sure we don't want to go? Sure, you don't want to go talk to Wire? Are we
She's
sure?
not
How do we
planet size.
feel?
She is not
Okay.
planet side.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know, but it was just a general suggestion. I don't know if
I
we
mean, you
want to
got to
give
go
her
back to
more
the ship anyway.
time.
'Cause
Anyways,
you
yeah.
gotta pick
Yeah.
up Awakener. So
To be fair, I think she has been locked away in her room probably this whole time.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk to Miros or was she involved in that meeting? Was she with us?
no, she wasn't.
Okay, so we should probably
far
like
as-
at least leave
yeah.
a message or something and be like, thanks, we'll
the-
see you soon. Keep
sure.
it posted.
Something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Peach would probably insist on going in person and saying bye,
yeah, that's fair.
She seemed busy, but I was like, I figured.
if possible. She
Yeah,
would definitely
yeah. Sure.
insist and
So
be like,
we'll say-
"We will." Yeah.
We'll say that you go and like one of the burly security, like unlike the first time that you came in, you're not escorted through the building. You seem to have been given free reign here, but as you approach her office on the top floor, one of the burly security just like you can see just sort of like steps in your path. It's like, sorry, the boss isn't taking any meetings right now. And then but you can see her in the office, and she kind of looks up and she says, no, it's fine. He like nods to her and steps out of the way.
Yeah, we go in.
Yeah. She stands behind her desk and smiles and says, so welcome back. I assume you are taking your leave then?
We are.
Excellent. Well, I wish you luck. I've been told that you were able to help yourselves to some of our unsorted scavenging. Good.
Vienna gives a big nods.
Yes.
Good.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. I have as much stake in your success as you do.
We'll keep you posted. I don't know what communication is going to look like. I'm sure we've got people who are good at encryptions, etc. But if not, we'll come back here and tell you in person, and hopefully it'll be good news.
Of course.
And if you think of anything else, I'm sure you have your own network of intelligence gatherers around here. So if you think of anything else or they come across anything else that you deem helpful, feel free to send it our way and we'll do the same.
I will, of course. And there is one last thing. And that is, if this all goes sideways for you and things get out of hand, well, I will consider that our deal null and void, and you're on your own, and I will deny any knowledge of my involvement with you.
That's understandable.
Completely fair.
I really wouldn't expect anything otherwise.
No, of course not. So, is there anything else that you need from us right now?
Just saying bye.
Well then, I have one last thing for you before you go. Might be of use to you on your mission. I can't, of course, send any of my people to help you directly, as that would tie me to your activities. However, Riot is not one of mine, but rather they are someone that we work with from time to time, a freelance contractor, so to speak. And Riot has agreed to accompany you in exchange for forgiveness of some of their actions during previous visits.
Can I do an insight on this? I want to know if they've had a fling. I want to know if they I want to read into this.
Sure.
My first thought wasn't even like, oh, what do I do? My first thought was like, are they ex-lovers? Have they fucked? That's my insight.
Yeah, do you want to just do a spend?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So here's what I can tell you. They were they I'm trying to think of how to like phrase this. They weren't they were probably not together.
Well, I don't think that either of them would really do that.
There's definitely something along that line there. However,
yes.
That does not appear to be what she's referring to right now.
Okay. Peach like notes the sexual tension.
Yeah. So she just says, Riot has, well, the debt that you bought up is not the only one that Riot has accrued over the years. So,
do they drink all your whiskey?
It was brandy, actually. Of
course.
But Riot should be able to provide some assistance. That said, Riot is not exactly a favorite of the Regulators, so those who know them.
I feel like none of us are going to be, so good company, I suppose.
Well, in any case, that Riot should be able to help you with any misdeeds you may need to engage in the course of your mission. They're well versed in it.
After all of this is over, we do have a doctor who has studied all of our abilities pretty thoroughly. If you want, you're welcome to her services.
Well,
Peach kind of wants to like make it known that like she knows and is like, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go.
Yeah. She just like she gives you a look that this is an interesting roll that I'm gonna make you make right now. I'm gonna have you make a an intellect roll here. This is sort of, in a weird way, this is sort of like a social combat defense in a weird way, but it's not a defense.
Well, I have a +3 to intellect defense I never get to use.
It's not.
You never throw intellect rolls at me because you know I have high intellect.
That's not true. I've thrown intellect defense tests at you.
That's true. I'm just bitching.
I don't think this counts as because this is more of like a sizing each other up kind of thing. This is not like an intellect defense thing. Your mind is
okay.
Not being attacked.
Pleasant social interactions.
Yes. Sorry. The difficulty on this one is going to be 4, I think.
Okay. So pleasant. I'm
5.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So I'm specialized, so that knocks it down to 3. Did anything else? Does persuasion or deception help with this?
Yeah. I would say one of them will. So yeah, I'm not.
I'm gonna say persuasion because I'm specialized. So
fair enough.
And then I'm gonna spend some effort. Yeah.
Okay, so
your edge should eat the last one, right?
I mean, I said spend, but it's
it's
free.
Sure. Okay. Do you want to roll anyway?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my Cypher die, even though it's been kind of fucking me, but 17.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, Monte Cook.
So
Monte himself came and kissed your dice before you rolled.
Yeah. She sort of evaluates you in a way that you find very familiar because you've done this
Mhm.
earlier. In fact,
Yeah.
you've done this very same kind of like yeah, this sort of gauging of someone else in the room.
Mhm.
She you're not entirely sure what she's looking for,
Mhm.
but or in fact what she comes away with. Um
Mhm.
but she just sort of very slowly nods and says, "Maybe. I've had a fair bit of I think I've had my share of medical professionals poking and prodding."
Well, if it makes you feel better, she doesn't act very professional. She's very relaxed. She usually has a drink in hand, so it really feels more like a visit with an angry friend.
Hmm. I see.
But she's very good. She's the best doctor.
Well, then I think we will have things to talk about when and if you should return.
I do want to get a read on her through that. What was the emotion? I want to know because it caught her interest enough. I want to know if there was any
I feel
emotional
like this
spike
is
with
something
that.
that Bina and Peach probably do naturally. Like I antagonize someone and then Bina like gets the read. But I feel like we should do that more often.
We should do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Bina's just always reading, and if if you make note or like make a note that someone particularly has a visual reaction, I'm like, obviously Bina wants to know.
Yeah.
She would feel it ambiently, but so I have to ask about it.
So it's hard to say specifically, but you do catch a it's not alarm per se, but it's not quite as passive as wariness.
Mhm.
There
Just like a
is
spike of
yeah, there is something in there. But also there's a certain amount of like you can feel more like it's less of an emotion, but more of like a demeanor change, where it's like specifically as she is regarding Peach, you can see that she has. You don't know what just happened specifically, but you do know very obviously that like something changed as far as her like threat assessment of Peach went. Something changed.
doing so good. You guys are making friends. It's awesome.
Yeah, there was that kind of shift, and it's more subtle than even just like an emotional shift, but even just a very very slight shift in body language when she's talking and addressing Peach. There is a like, yeah. So
Bina will continue to be low threat level.
If this one wasn't scary, I would continue to encourage her to to reach out and not be isolated. But I'm not gonna because she scares me. So
as you're oh yeah, what are you saying, Freeman?
Mason just looks around at what's going on and we'll be going.
It's just wall-to-wall facial expressions in here.
Yeah, Vina's like look face. Mason says something and she goes, yeah, sounds good, we'll see you later.
Like as you're saying that, they like one of the guards outside says, ma'am, your next appointment is here. She says, great, send them in. She says,
perfect timing.
good luck. And you see, as you're walking out, you see a pair of bodyguards like with like dragging somebody in, like arms locked under theirs, like dragging them in. You can see that they're like just beaten, like truly just beaten and battered, like dragging them in by their underarms. And as you're walking out, they get sort of like roughly set down in a chair in front of the desk, and like a second person behind that as well, in slightly better condition. Same thing. And you see as she just smiles broadly at them, says, "Gentlemen, thank you for joining me."
And the door's closed.
Yeah.
I love it here. Okay. Okay, we gotta go find is Riot's planet side, right?
Yeah, Riot's here.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go find Riot and scoop him up on our transport and we'll head back up.
It's not tough to find Riot because they are basically like when you find them, they're out front of the building antagonizing one of the guards.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just saying. I mean, if you put the bin right there in the wall, I mean, it's just going to encourage more people to come at you with explosives and things like that. They blow up in the wall. Suddenly, there's all these weapons. That's all I'm saying. Listen, my shift is almost over. Could you please just stand over there for a few minutes? No, I mean, look, I'm just trying to provide necessary security advice. I mean, if it were me, I would crack that thing in 3 seconds, and then you'd have all kinds of weapons just out and about for anyone to grab whoever wanted them. It's like he like turns and sees you as sees all
I
of
think
you
we're all
approaching.
just standing there, just like
Yeah.
listening. Like, listening.
I think Peach is like laughing a little bit.
Yeah. Riot turns to you and is like, wouldn't you agree? I mean, you don't want to keep all of these weapons right here, basically unsecured, with last gen of last gen security systems in place. Just right there. Not even in the building, and they can arm themselves up. I mean, am I speaking sense here? I think I am.
I think they made a point.
And the guard just says, it just sighs. That's all he just sighs. And Riot says, "You know what? We'll confer notes later. I'll write up a report. I won't do that because I don't write up reports, but I will talk to you more about it later."
Bina's gonna scoop them by like the elbow as she walks by.
Right. Good to see you're making friends as always.
They look like over their shoulder, call over their shoulder. We'll talk, and then just like as you're
Nice to meet you. Beautiful wave as link 2-arm link with Ryan.
Yeah. So apparently I'll be joining you. I will have this out front. I'm very excited, very much looking forward. Did not have a choice in the matter, but
Didn't think so.
yeah. So I'll be here to help you with any kind of slicing, forging, whatever you need.
Cool.
If you need pockets picked or doors unlocked, you come to me, and then I tell you, no, it can't be done, and then I do it anyway, and you're very impressed with me.
Cheeky little game you play with your allies and friends. Love
Precisely.
that for you.
And as you all make your way back to the shuttle.
Wait.
And
I think Riot makes Peach very nervous.
Bina has fun with them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Of course, like when you return, you have like Hotshot is just sort of lounging in the pilot seat and spins around as you enter the shuttle, and she just looks over, says, "Finally getting out of here?"
Yes.
Yep.
She goes, "Oh, good, you're here." To Riot.
Besties.
And yeah, with that, you take off to make your way back to Wire's vessel. When you arrive, just sort of on the edge of the system, you arrive, go through docking procedures and all that. You find you're informed that Taeon and Ada have already left for the for the information node. And that will be something that they will be working on, hopefully to get you any kind of information that will help with the with the mission. As you are kind of being informed of this, Becker says, Ada says that it'll probably take some time, even once they get the info. They'll have to download basically everything that's still stored in the node, and then they'll have to sift through it all, and who knows what kinds of decryptions they've got. So it might take a minute for you to get anything useful, but at the very least, it should be pretty easily in and out. You should be able to have Taeon back for the bulk of your mission. So at the very least, you'll have a full team.
Cool.
Good.
So is the plan here, are you calling your friend first, or are we just going to go find him?
I feel like calling would be easiest.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think I wouldn't know where to find
That's fair.
him right away, so calling would be best, I think. Do a
You
little
want to
call.
do that solo, or do you want us around for it?
I might do this one solo.
Okay.
Word of advice. After this many years, your friend's probably gonna want to know why all of a sudden you're out here at the ass end of the galaxy calling him up. You
And in the
might,
middle of a galaxy-wide upheaval.
yeah, you might want to have something ready to tell him.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping to get some information about him. Maybe I could use a little time just to kind of sort out my thoughts about what I'm going to say.
Makes sense.
Not too long, but just enough to get a. I need to have a story,
Yeah.
and it needs to be believable. I mean, he's a captain now. He didn't get to that position by being dumb, so he's always been smart. So
Yeah. Becker looks like he's about to say more, and then all of a sudden, lights just go out. In like ship lights just start like going out, and then
Oh no.
and then they slowly just back up. Becker just says, "Jesus."
Being standing with tools.
Yeah.
just like,
Like the lights went
Yeah.
out, Venus and hands are empty. Lights come back on, Venus holding tools.
Yes, exactly.
Becker
Glowing a
just
little.
shakes his head. He says, "It's. I mean, you still might want to take a look, but
Yes, I will be
Look,
doing that. Thank
I-
you very much.
I
You
told
seem
them-
like you have idea.
I told
what
him it
it
was a
is?
bad idea, but Jade wanted to practice using his abilities. I told them it was a bad idea, but
Well, I mean, we should practice is good.
yeah, maybe not when a mission
and-
success
yes, okay, yeah.
hangs in the balance and the entire fate of the resistance and the
We'll
galaxy.
figure it out. We'll figure it out. Maybe once we're done, we can go planet side and he can function some shit up. Okay. She tightens her belt, her little like the belt on her like bag that straps her, and I'm gonna go check out double check some systems,
Yeah.
run some diagnostics because that makes me nervous. Okay, are we on the shuttle right now, or are we on the
Now you're
ship
on
back
Wire's
on the
ship.
ship?
Yeah,
Okay, gonna go run some diagnostics.
yeah. So
Becker.
yeah. What do you need?
Where's Jade?
Last I checked, he was he kind of jerks his thumb over his shoulder, kind of towards the front of the main hold. He says, "He's over there in the space that we freed up here in the hold."
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to him.
Yeah, maybe he'll listen to you better than he listens to me. Yeah. As Mason, as you walk off, Becker makes eye contact with you, Peach, and just goes, "Teenagers," and he just walks off.
Can I want to insight that. I want to know if Becker, like, is that just a general statement? Is that the tone of someone who is knowledge and has children? I know Becker's a very hard to read guy, but I just feel I'm so curious.
I'll give this one to you for free because I think this is like a very simple one to this is definitely just sort of like an in general kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
I'm like, I want to know everyone's story.
Fair. Yeah. So, Mason, you approach Jade. Peach, in the meantime, what are you doing while Bina's running diagnostics? Mason is yeah.
I think I want to try and contact Vic so I can update him on what the fuck's
Sure,
going on.
Sure. Okay. So, we'll do these. Let's start with that actually. Yeah, you start kind of opening a channel through like wires, the secure setup that Wire has for outgoing communications. And it takes long enough that you think he's not going to answer, but then he does. And you can see Vic's his face. It's there's just a very barely perceptible amount of interference in the call, but it's relatively clear. And he looks at you and says, "Hey, I heard about everything that happened, and
You did good.
yeah, I mean, sort of. I heard about Sulan, and when that happened, I reached out, and nobody was responding at the base. So
We had to evacuate.
Yeah.
That place is. We left it totally.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know a lot of work went in that place.
It's just a place.
Yeah. We briefly made contact with one of the resistance ships that passed through the area.
Good.
They updated the team. Everybody knows what's going on, for the most part.
Okay.
How are you? Where's? Oh, I mean, I guess you don't have to say where you are if you're worried about
You
interjection.
haven't heard from me since the last time I called you, have you?
You see, he looks confused for a second, and then you can see like the realization hit, and he goes, "No, last time was, uh," and he like kind of sort of like runs through some of the details of your previous conversation.
Okay.
Why do you wait? Is is she back?
Yeah.
Have you seen
She
her?
was
Have you?
she she made herself known to me. She was behind. She was the reason we had to evacuate the base. She knew the location. She got the corpse to pay it attention.
You can see is he just like he kind of like runs his hand through like his sort of longer hair, and he just shit. Okay. Well, thanks for telling me, because I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to get to you through me. Um, Wait a second. Hold,
What?
hold on. Give me 1 second. And you see, as he like, you can see that he like just from like the way that his like where his eyes are and whatever that he's looking at it. He's looking at a terminal. You can even see like the illumination of it, like kind of
Mhm.
on his face. Wait 1 second. He kind of like looks over. You can see as he looks over his shoulder. He goes, says, Silar, do you have that footage that I was showing you the other day? Okay, great. Yeah, just send it over. Um, and he says something. I was looking for any sign that Mom might be around, and I saw something the other day. I wasn't sure what to make of it, but now, yeah, there it is. And he says, "Give me 1 second." And you receive the transmission that he sends you, and it's a still image
Mm-hmm.
um, of the skyline of Anzalon Prime, fully with all of like smoke in the air and everything. It's very similar to other images of the place that you've seen since the corporate attack.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it takes you a second. You're not seeing anything special
Mm-hmm.
after a minute. You're not really sure what you're looking at
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. And yeah.
Yeah, I think Peach kind of like looks at it, tries to like kind of decipher it, and then says, "So what exactly am I looking at here, Vix?"
Uh, Upper left hand corner. Uh, See that spot there? I at first I thought it was just smoke from everything, but look closer. Um, and as you look a little closer on the spot that he indicates, it does in fact look almost like dark smoke from like that sort of acrid smoke that is rising from the slagged ruins of various buildings in on Anzalon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
But as you look closer, you notice two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, you notice that it seems to be sort of free floating. It doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere on the surface. And then as you look a little like even closer,
Mm-hmm.
you recognize uh what appears to be an um it's a site that is very, very similar to one that you've seen once before
Mm-hmm.
when the Void Caller was swallowed by Shadow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
It's very, very hard to make out, but if you look closely, seen in that light, if you didn't know what you were looking at, it wouldn't make much sense. But now, with that information,
Mm-hmm.
looking at it, it's very possible that that's what you're seeing.
Vix, I think that you should maybe leave if she's there.
This footage was taken on the day after the attack.
Oh, okay.
This Peach, she was here. I still haven't been able to find Mom. Look, I'm not trying to... I don't know what else she would have come here for.
I don't know either. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what her plan is. I don't know. I would just feel better if you were back with us.
Me too.
The idea that she might be out there, and I think that no matter what she's up to, eventually she'd come to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I've still got a few things that I need to do, but if you want me to join you, I don't, I mean, I don't know if I can get to you soon. I don't even know where you are or how long you're going to be there, but,
I don't want to pull you away from if you're in the middle of something, but I don't want you gone much longer. I can feel that she's going to do something soon, and when that happens, I want you next to me.
well, the team and I are almost done with we've done basically everything that we can do at this point. We're kind of just, we're more in the way than anything else.
I don't think you're going to find her.
Me neither.
Whether Oneira has her or not.
Yeah.
You know, kind of think they'd get along. Isn't that the scary part?
I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to think about that.
No, I think I'm going to be thinking about it for a while now.
Yeah, I'll talk to the team, see if we can finish up in the next few days, and
When you're
maybe-
ready, I'll send you our location or future location, wherever we'll be, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Or if you tell me where you are, I mean, the team would take a little bit longer, but I can come get you.
Oh, what? Oh,
Like
oh,
that.
you're... Have I ever told you
Just
how
like-
scary you are? Like in a
just
good
like-
way.
I think you have told me that before, but it's always good to hear.
Hmm.
You know, it's just like when I used to pick you up. It's like that, you know, it's different vehicle.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're that scary. That means eventually I can be too. So just keep that in mind.
Man, I really missed hearing you threaten me, Vix.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I could get on a ship and chase you around the galaxy some more and be just like old times.
You know, I think that we've had enough of being chased around the galaxy for 10 more lifetimes. So I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
All right.
We should probably come up with some kind of way to make sure that when you see me, it's me. And when I see you, you're, you know, you, not influenced at all by...
Well, it's easier with you, but if she can get into my head, which she can, then you'll have no way of knowing.
I don't know. I might. I know your head pretty well. A little too well. I kind of wish I knew it less, honestly.
Honestly, me too.
Well, I'll think on it.
Okay. I'll let you know. We should be done in the next couple of days.
I don't know if this is relevant or helpful, but you know that she lost her Vix, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Don't.
Stay safe.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
Me?
You're right. Don't do. You know what? Do whatever you
I do
want.
everything very thoughtfully. I don't know what you're talking
All right.
about.
Okay. Yeah. Do whatever you want. You're gonna do it anyway.
Okay,
I'll.
bye.
Yeah. Later. And yeah, he cuts communication.
Pete sits there for a second, very concerned.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and cut real quick to Bina as you're just sort of like
Oh,
fully
yes, yay.
like you are waist deep in the ship.
Yes. Constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anything look funky, or was it just like a power fluctuation and we're actually fine?
It was
You will
definitely just
worry regardless.
it was definitely just a power fluctuation. Like that's what like readings are coming back just power fluctuation. However, it has thrown a few things out of alignment. So like in the way that power surges tend to do.
Yeah.
So like there are some calibrations that need to be redone. In particular, the ones that were in the process of being done and are now like basically
Gotta
all
start 'em
turning
over.
back errors. So yeah, you can start them over.
That's fine.
yeah.
And this is the boring. This isn't even fun repairs. This is
Yeah, this is the
boring
stuff that
repairs. I have to.
this is the stuff that drives itself, basically.
Yeah, but Bina has to sit there and do it. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll sit and restart the
you feel
scans and stuff.
you feel more than you hear Alma approaching.
Yeah, she doesn't even look up. She goes, "Hello,
Says, hi in there.
hello."
Everything all right? I was trying to keep damages to a minimum, but
Oh, were you involved with this?
look, all I said was that he should that I just said at some point that it would be good for him to know what he could do. I didn't say that he should practice now and not out here.
Sounds like you had a hand in being a little ship terror. I don't know what to tell you. And Bina's like setting stuff back together.
Yeah, well,
No, it's probably good that he's practicing. I don't think that there are people who will be happy about it, but I think that he should practice. So,
I think he's mostly worried whether or not you'll be happy about it.
oh, I think it's fine. Just I have to pretend because I'm in charge of things sometimes, not really, but like, so I have to be like, to be careful, you take care of yourself and ship stuff, but I'm also like, that was cool and I'm proud of you for practicing because practice makes perfect or whatever. So I don't know.
Well,
How's he doing though?
he's still kind of figuring out the shape of it, but
What shape is it taking?
at the moment, unpredictable and requiring lots of concentration that he is struggling with.
That checks out. Yeah.
But yeah, I told him to stay away from the engines at least. And
Thank you. Good. Yep. Excellent. If it's just power fluctuations, we can deal with that. But if we lose an engine, we might have issues.
yeah, then I won't tell you what he almost did to Wire's shuttle.
I don't think I want to know.
No.
I don't think I want to know. I think that would give me a heart attack.
No, you don't. That said, I was looking for you because do you know, entirely unrelated, do you know the best way to get rid of plasma burn scorch marks?
Oh my god! And pulls out her toolkit. I've heard that if you mix, there's like which brand of nano gel is it? If you mix it with like fizzy drink, sometimes it'll take scuffs out of the like finishes on
Ooh.
vehicles. But I've only ever done it on land vehicles. I haven't never tried that on like a flying one. We should do that maybe.
Yeah. She kind of like glances past you and looks at the displays that are like currently in the process of like beginning the interminable process of
2%.
yeah.
I've been here for
So
25
this one
minutes.
is like 25 minutes is like a 5%, and then it just ticks back down to 4% for some reason, and yeah.
Estimated time 26 hours. Estimated time 260 hours. Estimated time 25 minutes. Like
Yeah, all
like,
these ships
Oh.
run on Windows Vista for some reason.
Exactly.
Ouch.
Yeah, Bina will pull this these diagnostics to her terminal so she can watch them in case anything goes weird. She can get the alerts. And then she'll be like, "Yes, I think they still have there are probably a few things of pouches of fizzy drinks in the galley. I don't know how Abriel would feel about us stealing nanogel, but I bet I might have someone in some quarters. There might be a little med kit we could do. Let's try that." And she's gonna start walking. I think maybe the least it can do after things with wires to make sure her ship is okay. Kind of pack up her tools super quick and we'll start walking.
She says, "Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to figure out how to get plasma burns out of you."
Yeah. It'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, as the two of you walk on to go and deal with that. We'll cut over to Mason as you are approaching Jade and Sedona, who are just like in sort of a section of the hold, sort of towards the front of the ship. Basically the section that is like right before all of the major operational stuff, like the bridge and all that sort of stuff. You can see Jade is currently he's got his hands out in front of him, like he's holding some ability or something like that, but he doesn't appear to be doing anything just yet. And Sedona is currently holding like a large ball bearing, and she says, "Okay, are you ready?" He says, "I think so." And she says, "Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1." And she just lets go of the ball bearing, and Jade, you can see as he screws up his face in concentration, but the ball bearing just hits the floor with a loud clang and then just starts rolling away. And he says, "Sorry." She says, "No, that's fine. That's what we're here for." At which point they both turn and notice that you are approaching.
Yes, I'm approaching.
Mm-hmm.
I heard.
"Sorry, was Bina mad?"
Bina's taking care of the ship.
That does not answer the question.
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, well, he says, "How did it go down there? Everything good? Are we?"
Yeah, I think we've got somewhat of a plan. Still kind of mulling it over in my head. I was hoping that you would please let me know when you're about to practice. I would like to know.
Oh. Yeah, I can do that. I'm sorry. Alma mentioned me getting a hold of, my abilities, and I just want to be able to help. And
I want you to help too.
I would have come to you, but you weren't here, and yeah.
It's okay. I'm not mad.
Okay.
Listen, you know as well as I do, there's no rule book for any of this shit. We kind of have to make it up as we go, so just shoot me a message.
Yeah.
So I know what's going on in case I need to do something.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. That's all.
He kind of looks. He says, "Are we going somewhere? I mean, do you want me to? What's happening with the?"
Yeah, I think we're gonna hop on Awakener, but
Okay. Should he kind of glances at Sedona, and should we get our stuff ready, or?
yeah, I mean, whatever you think you might need.
Great. Yeah. So wait, so we can come?
I want you to.
Okay. He kind of looks over at Sedona. He says, "Are you coming with us?" She goes, "Yeah, sure. It's been a while since I've been on Awakener with everybody."
I think the hot cocoa has been replenished.
Yeah, that's he like turns to Sedona. He's like, "Yeah, no, we that was one of the things that we did in our last supply run. There's so many versions of it. So many like flavors. There's mint for some reason. I don't know." And he says, "We'll go get our stuff." And the two of them just sort of like go off towards the corridors or the
Mason
quarters.
just kind of leans up against the wall with his arms like casually crossed, not like in a but just like Gabriel's gonna kill me. Just kind of walks down the hallway after them.
All right. I actually think that is a excellent place to like to
I was
stop.
waiting for you to give us our line, Mason.
Yeah.
I was looking for. I couldn't figure it out.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Incredible. So as I said, this is normally where we would go to break, but today we're gonna have a bit of a short episode today. So this is where we're going to end the episode today. It feels weird ending so early, but this is good, I think. So we'll pick up here next week, hopefully with everyone back, with everybody in hopefully better rested and in better shape, and with a regular length episode. So
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an awesome one. I just feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it in my bones.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, for hanging out with us during this this unusually short episode, a bite-sized episode of Infinite Horizon. We will be back next week, as I said. Just some quick reminders that this is a pretty regular, relatively light week of programming. We'll be back on Friday with Ramblemancy, with a special surprise guest. So yeah, tune in at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Friday for that. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but probably a little bit of everything, because that is a little bit Ramblemancy these days. So, yeah. Anything else anybody want to say here at the end? All right.
Sure. I could just run through the
let's do it.
End of
Let's do
announcements
the
real
thing.
quick. The thing that I'm about to say is, of course, you could like and subscribe here. That's up to you. You get some cool emotes, but if you want, you can still support us the same way through other means, and you don't have to give any slice of the pie to Twitch. So you could go to Patreon, become a patron, get some little world building seeds for your stories. You could jump over on our coffee, get us a coffee, which I know I need to update that, and I have to do that, so that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but you can also
we've been having conversations with our coffee, so there will be updates at some point in the next few months. So like, don't worry about that.
And of course, you see merch is happening. There's the mug, which I have stuff and sticker, perfect. And we have.
Damn, I didn't get the merch plug memo, guys.
I did buy this and a t-shirt while on stream.
I know. I saw.
Like, I don't know if anyone saw the notification, because I didn't know if it was going to do one or not.
I think only I saw it, but yeah.
Yeah, I did put in.
Funny.
It was like, because it was like, oh, it's through StreamLabs, so you have to like get it, and it's like put in, a memo, and I was like, I really hope this doesn't show up on stream. And that was my message. Anyways, yay!
Woo! We have one of each item. That's perfect.
Amazing.
Look at us.
Yes. Of course, last but not least, jump over on our Discord. It's a good way to stay up to date on what we're doing and share your dreams, your memes, and your D&D schemes with us at any point, and we'd love to hear it. And of course, we get to see a lovely good zone and good mornings in the general chat, so that's a lovely place to start off. Yeah. Join the Discord.
Heck yeah. All right, everybody. We will see you hopefully on Friday for Ramblemancy, but if not, we will see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Good night and good zone, everybody.
Bye, Drac. Miss you.
Bye, Drac. Follow Remy on
Bye,
Twitter.
Drac. Follow Remy on Twitter.
That reminded you.